Forward Assist are a fantastic charity and they're doing much needed work with ex-service men and women in the community. It's so important that people who've put their lives on the line, who've fought for their country, that when they come home that we're there to honour the obligations we have to them, to look after them in transitioning back into the community and in society.
So we do lots of different things. The first one is sports and diversionary activities, so that's helping them get active, get out and about, reduce social isolation. We do community benefit projects, so the veterans will help other communities, and we do employment support as well, which is anything from CV writing to job opportunities to work placements with different companies. The fourth one we do is research, which we're currently looking at female veterans and their transition. What we'd love to do is create a gender-specific support, and what we mean by that is a structured programme where the women have, like they already have been, but keep telling us, giving us feedback, what they want to do, what they think would benefit them, so that women can come to us and get the support, the same support that men have. We want to look at how their transition was, what issues they had and how we can help. So what we found was it's very similar to the men. So social isolation is an issue, mental health such as anxiety, depression, PTSD, physical issues from their time served, to, and then we also found with the women there's some single mothers, so family issues as well.
I just think it's fantastic they do so much work tailored particularly for women. We know that 1 in 10 in the armed forces are women, and there's very little support for them particularly that's specific and tailored for women when they come out. So it's vital that they're there to support them with the very unique and specific needs that women have when they come back into the community.
Yeah, I think women put a lot of pressure on themselves to cope and to get everything done. We're breadwinners also, along with men, but we tend to keep a hold of our old roles as well as housewives and mothers. So it's like I feel like there's a lot more pressure on women to be this holistic person and be able to do both things, be able to have a career, be able to bring up children.
What affected us most when I left the army probably was the loneliness. I went from obviously living with however many lads and lasses and always having that company in and out of work, to suddenly like being by myself in the house when my partner was working shifts.
That sense of like everything you have to do on your own, when you've been so used to just everything's on a plate for you, your accommodation, your food, your social life, everything is just all in one place, and it's all there, and then you kind of feel completely like out of control, like in terms of how do I control all these aspects of my life that I never have had to think about before.
On leaving the forces, I handed my ID card in and basically was forgotten about, to be fair. And being a person that suffers from mental health, that's quite harsh. You feel rejected all the time because nobody's in touch anymore, and you know, you were part of a massive group and a massive network. So I haven't just lost my career, I've lost my friends and things.
I think there's an awful lot more we can do for people who are suffering from mental health and post-traumatic stress disorder when they leave the armed forces. A physical injury is very easy to see and can be healed, and we have a very well catered for NHS to deal with that. But the psychological trauma can often be hidden, can often be latent for many years, and you know, we're not as good, I think, at recognising, treating that, and for people themselves and recognising that and coming forward. And that's why it's vital that charities like Forward Assist are there to support people when they need it, but also to help them recognise when they do need help and support that they might not have even been aware of themselves. And for me, mental health is just as important as physical health for those coming back from serving overseas, and we should do everything we can to support them at difficult times.
I feel I'm on the road to recovery, and people that believe in you help people that have got mental health. If somebody says to you, "Hi, how's your day going?" that's a massive thing.
I think soldiers in general, squaddies in general, you always feel like you have a camaraderie with ex or serving, you know, and it gets everybody back into that sort of situation. And you don't have to talk about your injuries or your illnesses, but often, you know, that does happen in conversation, and it's nice to get things off your chest with people that can really understand you.
What had sort of put me off going to charities like Forward Assist was I've been invited to a lot of associations, but in my opinion I find that, you know, it's blokes sort of sat about having a drink, and just staying in the past and talking about the past, which is not really my style. Like I'm proud of what I've done, and you know, and I'm quite happy to talk about things that I've done, but I also want to talk about the future and talk about moving on.
It is really, really difficult, especially if you've moved around a lot in the army and you don't have a specific place that you call home, and you have to start a new life, you have to pick somewhere to live. You know, if you don't feel like you want to go back to your childhood home, and it's like, wow, you don't know anybody. And you need things like charities like Forward Assist to get that sort of bridge back into a community that you know.
It got us out there again, talking to people that have gone through the same things as me, sharing stories and talking about moving on in the future rather than reminiscing about the past. It gives us a lot of confidence being with Forward Assist, because I know that I've got that support network. So you know, if I'm feeling that I'm a little bit lost off, if there's anything sort of creeping up to do with the army, I know that I've got that support there, that I can go and see them. I'm always getting offered activities that I want to go and do with the female group, so there's always stuff to look forward to and things to do. And yeah, it just makes us generally feel a bit more confident that I've got that support.
Everyone in our charity helps clients, including the CEO right down to the admin staff, which is amazing. You know, we get to have wonderful experiences with some amazing people, hear their stories, and as cheesy as it sounds, actually, you know, help people's lives and help them transition into CV Street, which isn't easy all the time.